If this capital history of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space. To go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Welcome everybody. Today we are diving into what I believe is the most realistic spaceflight simulator I've ever seen. Reentry. This sim is as close as you can get to actually sitting in the cockpit of a real spacecraft. Every switch, every procedure, it's all here. You don't just press launch and go. You have to earn your way into space. Reentry lets you experience the full spaceflight history, from Mercury to Apollo, with insanely detailed controls and checklists. If you have ever wanted to feel like an astronaut, this is the sim for you. And here we are, on top of the absolute monster that is the Saturn V. This rocket is over 360 feet tall, generates 7.5 million pounds of thrust, and today I'm going to take it into orbit. Before we light this thing up, I have to go through the full launch checklist. Now, Reentry has a fully manual checklist where you need to know every switch by heart. But let's be real, I haven't been sitting here studying like an actual astronaut. So I'm using the simplified version, which highlights the correct switches for me. Because honestly, after a while, remembering all these switches is like trying to recall every single Wi-Fi password you've ever set. At some point you just start guessing and hoping for the best. Now, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know this isn't my first time in Reentry. I've done a couple of videos on it before, but this time there's a big difference. Because now I'm in crystal clear virtual reality using the Pimax Crystal Light. Yeah, they finally added full VR support, and let's be honest, this was really needed. I mean, this sim was practically made for VR, sitting in this cockpit, actually reaching out and flipping the switches, looking around at the insane amount of detail. It's an entirely different experience. Watching it on a screen is one thing, but being here, inside the Apollo command module, in full VR, this is next level immersion. Also, it definitely adds to the challenge because now, when you're trying to find a specific switch, you can't just move your mouse and click. You have to physically look for it. And trust me, in a cockpit this complex, that can get interesting. If I suddenly start frantically turning my head, it's probably because I lost track of a critical switch and I'm now racing against the clock. Alright, now I'm waiting for the T-minus 15 minutes, and I'm going to increase the time speed. You can see the time to launch in the upper left corner of the screen and the checklist in the upper right. Now, it's worth mentioning that Reentry is still in early access, so it's not perfect. There are some rough edges here and there, and a few things are still being refined. But even in its current state, it delivers an incredible experience. The level of realism, the attention to detail, and now with VR support, it really puts you in the seat of an astronaut. And with ongoing updates, it's only going to get better. Now I'm waiting for T-minus 10 minutes. All right. T-minus 4 minutes. We're close to launch, and the atmosphere is beginning to build tension, excitement. Everything is ramping up. Almost time to go.
Verb 75, standing by. CDR TDC align.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Roger, we got a roll from
Tower cleared.
Roger, roll. Complete and efficient program. Stand by for 1 Bravo. Mark 1 Bravo.
We can't see anything outside the windows yet, because the module is still covered by the launch escape system and the rocket's protective shroud. At this stage we are sitting at the very top of the Saturn V and closed for safety during
You're
launch.
good at 1 minute.
Once we get higher in the Ascent, the escape tower will jettison and we'll finally have a clear view of space.
Stand by for mode 1 Charlie.
Stand by for mode 1 Charlie.
Mark.
Mark, mode 1 Charlie.
Station status booster. Go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Good for staging, Captain.
This is Houston, you are go for staging.
Board cutoff.
We confirm inboard cutoff.
Confirm inboard. Roger. Staging. And ignition.
Cut off ignition.
Roger. Thrusters go all engines. Looks good,
Urban
Captain.
Houston, thrusters go all engines, you're looking good.
Hi, Roger. You're loud and clear, Houston. Tower's going.
Roger,
Tower's
tower.
going, Fido.
Oh wow, look at that. The escape tower is gone and now we have a perfect view. The curve of the Earth, the deep black of space, this never gets old. Absolutely breathtaking. And experiencing this in VR just takes it to a whole new level. Looking out of the window and actually feeling the scale of the Earth below, it's unreal. Screens just don't do it justice. In VR, you don't just see space, you feel like you're really here.
You are go at 4 minutes.
Roger.
Right now we're in the second stage of the ascent, steadily climbing toward orbit. The engines are still burning, pushing us higher and faster, but we're not there yet. We need to reach a stable altitude and velocity where we can safely orbit the Earth instead of just falling back down. So for now we wait, monitor the instruments, and make sure everything is running smoothly as we approach orbital insertion. I like to keep the flood lighting off in here because, honestly, looking outside the window is just way better. The cockpit is cool and all, but when you've got the entire Earth glowing beneath you and the vastness of space above, why should you want to ruin that with bright lights in your face?
Stand by for S4B.
Stand by to S4B to COI capability.
Okay. Mark.
Mark, S4B to COI capability.
Roger. Confirming the board now. Roger.
You are go at 8 minutes.
Just another Roger. TU shift. Roger, TU.
Roger, we got TU shift down here too.
We're getting close to orbital insertion now. Just a little more to go before we are officially in orbit. And I have to say, this whole experience is just incredible. I really suggest doing this the real way. No assist, no shortcuts, just like the actual astronauts did. It takes time to learn and it can be challenging, but that's what makes it so rewarding. When you finally reach orbit knowing you did everything right, it feels incredible. But if you want, you can also play the simplified way, which helps a lot in learning the various procedures and switches. It's a great way to get familiar with everything before diving into full realism.
Roger, shut down.
Flight fighter, we are go. Confirmed go.
You are confirmed to go for orbit.
Flight guidance, GNN is go. Roger.
And there we go. We are in orbit around the Earth. The next stage would be orbital checks and preparing for the next maneuver. We'll verify all systems, make sure everything is running smoothly, and plan our next steps. Whether that's a rendezvous, or a course correction, or even a journey to the moon. But that's a whole other mission, and it's going to need a new video. I hope you like this one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!